Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Olivia and this is my channel where I love to talk about all things nail polish. Today's video is part of my Did I Nail It series, where I use polishes that I already own to see how I can combine them and possibly dupe polishes that are coming up in other nail polish releases. It's I think, especially this time of year where shopping is just everywhere, I find it's a really good way for me to spend some more time taking the time to appreciate what I already have. And for times when I do want to go shopping, it helps to ensure that I don't dupe myself and bring in yet another polish that matches, like, you know, one that I already own. So today's video is going to be for the December release for Hella Handmade Creations. And if you're unfamiliar with HHC, it is a monthly collaboration where indie nail polish makers and other cosmetic makers come together and they offer their products for a week so that you can get them. And what's great about HHC is that the makers have their own individual themes. So when you go to the shop, you'll see like all kinds of polishes based on all kinds of different inspiration. But also what can happen, like for this month's shop coming up, is that in addition to the polishes that the makers are putting out as part of the regular December release, there's also going to be Valentine's Day polishes available as well. And so I say this as someone who loves red nail polishes. I think am especially wanting to make sure that I spend time taking inventory of what I already have and making sure that I don't dupe myself and buy more Valentine's Day themed nail polishes just because it's there. If you've never watched one of these videos before, or if you might need a refresher about my take on shopping, spending, and where these videos can fit in, I say, well, if you're someone who is on a no buy, meaning that you are currently choosing to not buy any new polish, then I feel that these videos can be helpful for allowing you to get a better sense of how to layer the polishes that you already own and really gain some strategies and tips for ways to layer them that you might not have considered. And when you do that, it almost really does feel like you are bringing a new polish or a new look into your life. Now, if you are on a low buy, meaning that you are looking to reduce your spending somewhat, but you're still giving yourself permission to shop, I would recommend for you, let's say, for example, you have set a budget to buy 5 polishes from HHC this month. And if you don't take the time to check your current collection against your wish list, then you could very well dupe yourself and buy a polish that is probably something you already have. But if you go and you try to see which polishes you're interested in, see if you can dupe them, and then if you're like, oh, okay, that's a really cool polish, but I can already make that or something very similar from what I already have, that can allow you to free up that spot and then go look for something else out there. And maybe I think one of the great benefits of this, I know for myself, it's allowed me to not only enjoy what I already have, but then use that space in the budget that I've given myself to explore other nail polish makers whose products I may not have even considered had I not taken the time to evaluate and see what else was out there. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be a fun video as always. I will probably be rambling at some times and saying some weird stuff as I always do. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. The first polish, it comes from Phoenix Indie Polish. It's called Manic. It was inspired by Lady Gaga's song 911. I love that song. And the description says, it has a baby pink Crelly base with golden green aurora shimmer. And I'm gonna give my usual disclaimer that I give for some of the bottles that are available during these monthly polish drops. This is a polish that comes in an 11 milliliter bottle, which is smaller in size than, say, your more standard 15 milliliter one, like both of these here. And also there's a cap of 100 bottles, meaning that's the maximum number of bottles that will be made available. And just the disclaimer that it may be the case that because it's a smaller bottle size, some people might choose to buy multiples, and so this one may sell out faster than others. Okay, with that being said, you might be wondering why on my swatch wheel here I have 3 very different swatches already, only one of which looks anything close to Manic. And it's because these first 3 polished dupe attempts I'm going to go through pretty quickly, because as I was preparing for this video I realized that there are 3 polishes I was looking at that have the same kind of I guess formula, or the same kind of color makeup, in the sense that I was looking at them and thinking I could probably dupe them with the combination of like starting with the creme jelly or crelly and then putting a shimmer polish on top of it. And before I get into trying to dupe Manic specifically, I will say that I've mentioned in previous videos that I'm planning to do an upcoming video about tips and strategies that I have for how to stick to a low buy or a no buy. And as I've been planning this out, I've realized part of it is that I also want to show you all what my favorite types of toppers are, so that you can get some ideas for how to make better use of the ones that you already own. But realizing that that video is going to take forever, I am splitting that into glitter toppers, shimmer toppers, and flaky toppers. And the reason I'm saying this right now is that in the video that's going to be about the shimmer toppers, it's exactly like what you're going to see here, and which is why, if you do have some kind of holiday shopping budget for yourself, if you are building a nail polish wish list and you're telling your friends and family what kind of nail polish they can get you, y'all, I promise, I know that toppers may not seem like the most fun nail polishes to get, but they are some of the most important building blocks that you can have in your collection, because of the versatility for exactly what I'm going to show you like this. So going back to Manic, I see it's got a baby pink crelly base. Now the main, I don't really do baby pink. It's not a color that I tend to gravitate towards, but I do have, when I do want to okay, I was about to say when I do want to feel like a baby. That's not why someone wears baby pink, but y'all know what I mean. When I do want to wear baby pink, I have this creme polish from Blank Beauty, and its name is Mystery Polish. That's really not the name of it. Blank Beauty will just like send you a mystery polish if you use a special code or something like that. Excellent formula though, and if you are not familiar with Blank Beauty and you do want this shade, you can just go to their website and like browse by color, or even upload a picture that has pink in it, and you can select like where in that picture you want to reference. So yeah, this is 2 coats of Blank Beauty right here, and I see that this Phoenix Indie polish has a golden green Aurora shimmer. So I decided to pull out BCB Lacquer's Next Question, which is this like golden-ish topper. And you know, I want to see how this goes, and to see, will this be as simple as giving me the kind of vibe that I want from Manic. Okay, so far so good. Ooh, should I be wearing baby pink more often, because that is cute. Yeah. So in my case, like I said, because I don't really wear pinks a lot, I don't think I really have a pink that is like a base pink that's the exact same base pink as the one in Manic. But I mean, if I were looking at this and thinking, you know what, I'm drawn to this polish because I see that it's pink and it's got like a golden green shimmer. And if I just want to scratch that edge, boom, this is good enough for me. So yeah, did I nail this one? I think so. Let's go on to the next one. Next is Sassy Cat's Lacquer Frosted Fantasy. I almost said that as Frosted Flakes. I think I'm hungry. Okay. It says, Sassy Cat's Lacquer continues their All Things Sweet series with a polish inspired by cannoli cakes. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely hungry right now. It continues on to say, Frosted Fantasy has a neutral base with a soft pink, gold, orange shift that changes with different angles and lighting. It may appear slightly deeper in standard lighting. Okay. So for this to start, I began with 3 coats of Cracked Polish's Liquid Smoke. This is such an incredibly versatile jelly polish to work with. It is just, there's been so many times on my channel where I've used this not as a base color like I'm doing here, but used it as a topper. Basically, it does a lot to actually change the like vibe of whatever you put it on top of. Okay, and so to address the part of this for Frosted Fantasy, again, I'm thinking of Frosted Flakes, it says there's a pink to gold to orange shift. And what I decided to try for this also comes from Cracked. This is Petals on the Surface. This is actually a magnetic topper, but for the purposes of this test, and actually often how I use this polish, I don't always magnetize it. This is a polish that I pull out to use when I want what you can see in here, like this like pink to purple to gold shift. And I'm hoping that this will be a really quick one. So let's see what we've got here. Oh, that's really nice. Again, you know, I think that like my base color that I'm working with, mine seems to be a little bit darker than the one that's in Frosted Fantasy, but this for me is close enough. And if I really wanted to dig deeper, I might try to like pull out a different base color from my collection to see if I could have one that's a little bit lighter. But I really like how this one turned out. I know as I'm looking at it right now through my camera, it's appearing darker than I'm seeing it in person. So I actually might take back what I just said. You know, y'all know how polished is can look different depending on the lighting. But did I nail it? Yes, I think so. And this is what I'm saying. Like, if you are ever in a hurry, but you want cute nails, you want nails that people will be saying, oh my goodness, those are amazing. And again, if you don't have time, but all you need to do is pull out a creme polish and like a shimmer topper, and you get this. And it is just amazing, like how many different combinations you can get from just using something like this. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Next is from, well, we were just talking about Cracked Polish. If y'all couldn't already tell, it's one of my favorite brands. Their polish for the Valentine's Day part of this month's HHC is called V-Day Every Day. It's described as a bright pink with purple shimmers. Okay, so I was looking at the colors in the reference photos, and you know how when you're looking at the reference swatch photos on a website, and you want to make sure to like go through and look at all or most of them if you can, because sometimes the color can change depending on the lighting that you're in. I saw the first few photos of these that looked more red to me. I'm like, oh, okay, let me just keep going. There's probably some in there that are looking like pink. Nope. To me, at least, they all look pretty much red. But I do still want to hold true to what the description says, that it's bright pink. So I chose not to like go into my collection and pull out something like a red like this, like Zoya's Lisa. Like this is red. But instead, I decided to use ILMP's Vaporwave, which, ooh, this one is, oh my goodness. Like, I just love this polish. This is one where people will see your nails from a mile away, and it's just fantastic. So I started with 3 coats of Vaporwave here. You could probably get away with 2 coats of it, but I'm someone who prefers full opacity, and I think that 3 was better for me here. Okay, and so for V-Day Everyday, it says we've got purple shimmers. Well, what do you know? Fancy Gloss has entered the ring. What am I doing? Okay. This one is called Hypnotism. And once again, you can't really see fill lines because of the angle that I'm filming from, but this one has a significant fill line for multiple reasons. One being that purple is one of my favorite colors, and also, as I've mentioned, I love shimmers, and it is a very excellent topper that I'm so happy to have in my collection. So let's see if we can get this one to work. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Okay. Wow. Oh, okay. I know I said that Vaporwave was like blinding in a good way, but like the kind of nail polish that someone can see from across the room. Y'all, putting like a purple shimmer topper on top of Vaporwave has kicked it up. Like, I'm really into EDM music and often go to raves and stuff. And yeah, I know what I'm wearing the next time I go to one of those concerts, because my goodness, this is one of these polish combinations where I'm not kidding when I say I could easily just sit here for another 5 minutes just staring at how beautiful this polish combination is. And this is a perfect example of what I mean when I say that going through this kind of duping process is not just fun, but also helpful, because there's I as much as I love Vaporwave and as much as I love Hypnotism, that's the name of this one, right? Yes. I was confusing this for a minute with another one that has that's similar but a different name. I never would have thought to combine them together. Oh my goodness. Wow. See, okay, let me stop here and move on, because like I said, I can be talking about this one forever. So let me just wrap this one up real quick. Did I nail it? Yup. Am I gonna probably wear this combination sometime later this week? And by later this week, I mean tomorrow. Also, yep. Next is Hearts and Promises Pyrite. It says that Hearts and Promises is continuing their Gems and Crystals series, and Pyrite is described as having a silver scattered holographic base with gold shimmer, gold flakes, and silver hollow micro glitter. Okay, y'all know it's gonna be like real serious. Not serious, but you know it's gonna be very interesting when I have 6 polishes out here that I'm going to be using for this. Let's see what's going to happen. So it says that we're starting with a silver scattered holographic base. For this, I do happen to have a silver holographic polish that can be built up in a couple coats to get some kind of opacity. And this is from Crack Polish Holographic Garbage. It's a magnetic polish, but for today's purposes, I'm using it unmagnetized. And then, because I know that not everyone will have that kind of polish in their collection, I also wanted to see how this layering attempt would work if I decided to use a different kind of silver base to start with. And this one is Monarch Lacquer Enigma Glow, which is a silver magnetic topper. And I know like many indie brands have their own kind of silver magnetic topper. And so I'm hoping that some of you, if you don't have holographic garbage, you can follow along and use the one that you have. So what I've got here on the left is 2 coats of holographic garbage. And then on the right, I've got 2 coats of Enigma Glow Both of these, as I mentioned, are magnetic polishes, but for today's purpose, I'm keeping them both unmagnetized. Okay, so now we go back to the description of Pyrite, saying that it has gold shimmer, gold flakes, and silver hollow micro glitter. Now, for this video and for this polish that we're trying to do, I would say this is one of the times where like I've mentioned before, it's not just a matter of like identifying which polishes you want to layer, but also taking into consideration the order in which you're choosing to layer them, because depending on the effect or color that you want to have be more prominent at the top of your painting, then that's going to determine how you go about layering them. And so I just want to mention that you don't always need to layer your polishes in the exact same way that they are listed in a polish description. So for example, the description of Pyrite says gold shimmer, gold flakes, and silver hollow micro glitter. Well, I can tell you, first of all, I'm looking at these reference photos and that gold shimmer is popping. So I know already that the last polish I'm gonna layer is going to be Cirque Colors Nectar, which is so sparkly. I actually, okay, let's talk briefly about the polish I'm wearing right now. This is one that I got from my Black Friday order with Gin and Berries, another one of my favorite polish brands. It's called Overlooked, which I think might be a reference to The Shining, which makes me love it even more if so. And while Overlooked was beautiful on its own, I always love some additional glitter and shimmer, and so then I put Cirque Nectar on top of it, and you can kind of see the sparkle there. So the Nectar is the kind of polish that if you're going for a gold shimmer, you put this on last before you then proceed to putting on top coat. So this is going to be our third one. And then it says we've got gold flakes. Okay, so the one that I'm using is Mooncat's Fool's Gold. This one is a gold flake topper that actually dries down to a matte finish, which for our purposes today is going to be fine because I'm going to be putting other things on top of it anyway. And even if I weren't, I could always put like a glossy top coat over it if I wanted it to be glossy. But what I'm mentioning here is if you look at the density of the flakes that are here in Fool's Gold, this is one of the reasons why I know that I want to lay this down first, because let's say, for example, if I started with the silver hollow micro glitter topper and then did Fool's Gold and then did Nectar, I'm having an end result that's going to be definitely silver heavy on the bottom, but then I've got 2 layers of gold on top of that. So that's going to make me wonder, will I still see my silver base at that point? And so what I'm choosing to do is put down Fool's Gold first and then proceed to go with the hollow topper. So let me actually go ahead and do that right now so that while that is drying, I can tell y'all about the other polishes that I've brought out. So I'm gonna start with this over top of Holographic Garbage. You know what, I've said before that sometimes I think that silver and gold do not go together well, but I think I just, these go really well together so far. Okay, I like that. That is nice. Let's see it over my Enigma Glow, the silver magnetic topper that I have kept unmagnetized here. Are those just not showing up? Wait, let me see. Let me just make sure. Okay, yeah. I think I couldn't tell if the flakes just weren't on there or like what, but I think that like they just hadn't been loaded up on my brush. Okay, so far so good. So while that's drying, now that we're done with Fool's Gold, I'll move this one over to the side. So yeah, now we're considering our options for the silver hollow micro glitter. Now, I've pulled out two options for this. One is ILMP, My Private Rainbow X. Full disclosure that I want to mention every time that I use this, this is technically a combination of ILMP's My Private Rainbow X and the last bit of Hollow Taco's Scattered Hollow Taco that I had. They're both scattered holographic silver toppers, so I thought, let me put them together. And so the end result, it's fine. It's basically the same thing. So that's how the size of this looks. I also have Starly Stars. Y'all, this one is dainty. Like this one here on the right, Stars is like, let's say if you are going to somewhere where you need to be like very professional, but you still want to have a little bit of sparkle, the Stars is what you would use. But let's say you are like, it's a sunny day and you are ready to put your nails into the sun, not literally, but like put your nails out into the sky that's being illuminated by the sun, and then you would use My Private Rainbow X. Now, I just recently got Stars, so I haven't had a whole lot of chance to use it just yet, but I will say, like I mentioned, this is dainty, and it does show up if you put it over top of something that is like not silver. I just have a feeling that if I were to put this on top of what I've got here, y'all wouldn't see anything. It would just like, it wouldn't even be there. So I instead am going to use ILMP's My Private Rainbow X, though I do highly recommend Stars as a lovely silver hollow topper that's a little bit more dainty, a little bit more sparse for times when you want that. So as you can see, our fool's gold has dried. I actually really love, like on the left in particular, I really like how fool's gold has dried over holographic garbage, giving it even more opacity there. But let's see how this looks with My Private Rainbow X. You know, this is not going to like change the underlying color or anything like that, but it is going to give some sparkle. And we may not be seeing all that sparkle here in this room, but this is why I always like to go and do some shots in other lighting. So let's do this now for Enigma Glow. Okay. There we go. All right. So again, from my eyes, I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference just yet, but I promise once we get this in other lighting, that will be noticeable. Okay, and last but certainly not least, we've got Cirque Colors Nectar, which I mentioned earlier, is going to give us this really nice silver, or not silver, gold shimmer to finish things off with. If I look and see what we've got so far in comparison to what is in the reference photos, I mean, the Pyrite does appear to lean slightly more towards the gold side, and so I'm hoping that when I put on Nectar, this is going to push it over there to give it that last little punch that that we're looking for. So let's see. Okay, let's start with the swatch on the left. Oh, yep. Okay, yeah, that did it. That, oh my goodness. Oh, that is so nice. There's some random like red sparkle in there. Just ignore that, y'all. We've got some cross-pollination happening here. Like I said, I like glitter. Sometimes glitter gets in other glitters, but it's fine. It's fine. Ooh. Okay, you know what? I am not seeing Nectar show up as strongly on the Enigma Glow silver topper as I am with holographic garbage on the left. So again, at least in this particular lighting, I would say that, wow, did I nail it with this? I think 100% with our option that started with holographic garbage. I just feel that having a slightly more sheer base as our foundation helped to give this more like translucent look that is more close to what I'm seeing in Pyrite. But you know what? I have no regrets about having done the test with the silver magnetic topper. I really was curious, like, if you don't have something like holographic garbage, could you still pull this off? I mean, I just think that with using a silver magnetic topper or any kind of like more like solid silver polish as your base, the part of the issue here is that you're not going to see as much of that as much of the gold stand out as you would over here. So left option would be the winner. That's a really pretty combination. Again, I have no idea where that random red glitter piece came from, but it's part of it. Next is Sassy Sauce Polish, Dancin in the Dark. It says that Sassy Sauce is continuing their shoes-inspired series with a polish that's inspired by a photo of a navy sparkly pair of stilettos. And Dancin in the Dark has a dark navy base with a sparkly green, blue, violet shimmer. Okay, I was drawn to this one because I've mentioned before, I love teal. And I mean, we got a navy base with like a green, blue, and some violet shimmer. Y'all, that's like teal. So as much as I love the look of this polish, I also have a feeling I can probably dupe it with something that I already have. And so here we are. And as you can see here, I've swatched out 3 very different bases, and let me walk you through these, because you know it says it's a dark navy base. I took that as being open to my interpretation and also to give you all some different options that you know, depending on what you have in your collections, and to show you what could be possible with them. So let's start on the left. What I've got here is my favorite dark blue navy creme polish. It's from Color Club, and it is called Nighttime is the Right Time. And just, it's very, very gorgeous. I would say that it's a polish that, like, in indoor lighting, it's not so dark that it reads as black. Like, it still does have enough blue in it that people can see that it's blue, but it's stunning. So what I did there, that was 2 coats. Next, this one's not really as much navy, but it's dark blue, so I felt that it could come to the party as well. This is from ILMP, and it's called Midnight Kiss. And yes, also very, very lovely. Tip that I have, if you are someone who loves Mooncat's House of Hades, but you want to preserve that bottle of it for as long as you can, so you don't have to pay the higher prices of Mooncat polishes, my recommendation, start with 2 coats of ILMP's Midnight Kiss so that you get some foundation with your opacity, and then follow up with 1 or 2 coats of House of Hades, and you still get that same vivid blue, but you get to hold on to your House of Hades for a little bit longer. Okay, so this one I have swatched out here in 3 coats. And we have now entered what I like to call the okay, hear me out portion of the program. This, let me explain. I started with 1 coat of a black creme polish. My favorite, my go-to is Bee's Knees Lacquer Void. And then followed it up with Bee's Knees, The World Loves to Punish Girls Who Dream in the Dark. That just speaks to my dark little soul. Um, and yeah, like just look at that. This is a polish that if I just open this up so y'all can see how it looks. Actually, I can even show you this like on a swatch wheel that I was using for other purposes. Ignore the rest of this. This right here is how that polish looks in one coat. So you can get a sense of exactly how you would need to build that up to get any sort of opacity. And so that's why what I've done here, I used it as a topper over black. This right here is one of my go-to combinations for times when I'm just like, I want to feel like I'm feeling dark and creepy. I want the world to know that, but I don't want to have to think about which polish I put on. Like this is one of those combinations that I know I can do and that it's just gonna work beautifully. Okay, so yeah, you can see here we've got 3 very different types of blue that we're starting with. And so now all that's left is to follow it up with some kind of topper. Now, the description says, sparkly green, blue, violet shimmer. And depending on the types of shimmer toppers that you have in your collection, it might not always be the case that you have a single shimmer that will address all of those. At the same time, however, you might not want to necessarily add on like 2 shimmer toppers, because then you run the risk of putting on so much more shimmer that you are no longer seeing as much of the underlying base color. So even though this topper that I'm going to be using, which is Holo Taco's Celestial Lights, I see that this has like green for sure. I could sort of make a case for like bluish if I really wanted to, but like I'm looking at the reference photos and the sparkly shimmer that I'm seeing in all of them is more so green, and so that's why I decided to use this one. So I'm hoping that I will get the result that I'm looking for. We'll see. So let's start with our first option on the left, which is nighttime is the right time. Ooh, that is so pretty. I should also mention I literally just got this polish in the mail today, the Holo Taco one. So this is my first time using it. Okay, so what this did, interesting. So I'm seeing that we're definitely getting that green shimmer, but I'm not seeing as much of the blue base anymore. Let me see. What I often like to do, you all can't see that I'm doing this, but as I'm sitting here at my nail desk, I have my iPad in front of me, and I am tapping through some more of the swatch photos to see, like, are there others that may look like this or what? But, so now that I think about this, this is really going to, okay, hold up. I'm gonna pause for a second and bring in an option 4. Okay, I am back. We're still gonna do these 2 in the middle, but I just want to jump ahead and explain what this one is going to be. I swatched out 1 coat of black from Bee's Knees Lacquer Void, and then followed that up with 2 coats of KB Shimmers Spell Check. And this is the end result there that we're going to use as a base. And by the way, this combination here, like this, like 1 coat of black and then 2 coats of Spell Check, I wore this over the weekend to tell myself that I did not in fact need to buy the I think it's called Sea Kelp new Holo Taco polish that came out. So if any of you are looking for a really good dupe at probably a more affordable price point, yeah, Spell Check from KB Shimmer, highly recommend. Okay, the reason I brought in another option here was that I was feeling that this shimmer may have taken over so much, and I'm wondering what's going to happen when I do it on the others, because I do want the green shimmer, but I also still do want to see blue. So let's see what happens here. Let's put it over Midnight Kiss. Oh, okay. Okay, let me explain the reason why I'm saying that. So, what we've got here over Midnight Kiss, I think that looks better because even though the description of this polish that we're referencing, Dancing in the Dark, even though it says that that one has a dark navy base, and I know that it does in the photos, I think if you're wanting to dupe this, at least from what I'm seeing so far, I'm having a better result by using a darker, like a blue that's still dark, but like on the lighter side of dark. And I'm definitely getting a better result with starting with Midnight Kiss. I was surprised. Okay, let's continue on with our testing. Going over next to option 3, the okay, hear me out option. This one is Bee's Knees Lacquer Void, and then also from Bee's Knees, The World Loves to Punish Girls Who Dream in the Dark. If I were to predict, I would say this one, because it is darker, I'm guessing it's probably going to lean more towards the result that we got with the first one here, but maybe I'm going to be wrong. Who knows? Let's see. Yeah, I was right. Okay. That was quick. Okay. Once again, you know, sometimes you just have to test something to get it out of your system so that you're just like, you know, I wonder what that would look like. Yeah, I mean, that basically completely swallowed up the little blue detail that was in there from the World Loves to Punish Girls one. So let's just move on. And this one is a little bit lighter. You know what? Before I do this, I'm going to pause for just a moment and ask myself, is there anything else I have in my collection that I could use that could be an alternate option? And yes, let me go grab it real quick. Okay, this one that I have, I think I used this in another Did I Nail It video recently because it was still on the side of my desk to be put away. I hadn't put it away yet. This is Ethereal Lacquer Pigeon. Caw! I think that's the sound they make. So this one, if I compare it to the Holo Taco Celestial Lights, you can see how they're both in the green family, but the difference here is that Celestial Lights has like more of like a silvery kind of white aspect to it, which is causing there to be more opacity in that shimmer there, as compared to what I'm hoping will happen with Pigeon when I put that over the end result. I'm thinking this is going to be our best result possibly because of what you can see here with there already being like a mix of green that's in the flakes of spell check. But I'm hoping that in addition to that, and already having a blue base, that Pigeon layering on top of this will give us the green shimmer that we want, but not to the extent of what we had like over here so far. Let's see. Trust the process. Trust the process. Okay. Well, it's green. I don't like that. Hold on. Let me look at this. What do I not like about this? Okay. In this case, like I started with spell check because of the blue and the green that's in there, but adding on Pigeon basically like swallowed that up to the point where you can't see that. So, okay, if I had to choose the best result from these, I think it would probably be the starting with Midnight Kiss and then putting Holo Taco Celestial Lights on top of that, because from what I have found here, using 3 darker bases and 1 lighter base to start with, I have better results with allowing that blue vibrancy to still shine through when my blue is somewhat lighter. And you know what? I'm not going to tell myself, oh, I should have known that, because, you know, it says dark navy base, so I pulled out like dark and dark. But hey, I really love this combination here and would wear it. So did I nail it? Kinda, maybe. I think this is close, but not fully what's there in the Sassy sauce, but it's close enough for me. So let's go on to the next one. The final polish for this video comes from Pepper Polish as part of their Valentine's Day offerings. It's called Candlelit Path. It's described as having a violet base and iridescent orange flakes. Just want to put out there, again, this one has a low cap of 100, and the bottle size for this one is even smaller than some of the others I've mentioned because it's only a 10 milliliter bottle. So plan accordingly. For this one, this should be relatively simple and straightforward. What I wanted to do was to pull out a couple of different violet-ish polishes from my collection to see the effect that using an iridescent orange flake topper over it would have, and to what extent would I still see that color underneath, and how does that align with what's in Candlelit Path. You know, I'll say we all in the nail polish community have those certain polishes or certain types of polishes where we tell ourselves, oh, I need that one too because that one's different. And you look at it and you're like, is it really though? And for me, these type of magenta flake polishes are that for me. And so that is why I am trying to dupe it instead of buying yet another one when I already have many of these. So let's talk about the two polishes I'm using for base. We're gonna start with Lacquer Indomitable. And then also, oh, I just smudged it with my finger. So let me, while I am doing this real quick, let me just fix that. This is a thing that happens quite a bit in some of these videos where I am just like, you know, hands are just moving everywhere and see, that kind of didn't happen. Okay, so then that means we're gonna start with the second polish first. And that one is Cracked Polish, Sweeter the Juice. This one, yeah, I think I was saying when I was in the middle of smudging it, I did 3 coats of Indomitable, and then I also did 3 coats of Sweeter the Juice. Now moving on to the topper that I'm going to use. This one comes from a new indie brand that not only is it new to me, but I think it's like a newer brand period. This is Perky Polish, and it is Fortitude. Y'all, I love this topper so much, I have bought a backup of it because it is just unlike any other topper that I have in my collection. And as I mentioned, I love toppers, so yeah, I knew I needed to have this one. So I'm curious to see how this will look when I put it over these two, and not just which one will end up looking closest to Candlelit Path, but also which one will I prefer. So let's start with Sweeter the Juice. Okay, it's not showing up on there as strongly as I would have thought. So I'm wondering if I might need to do a second coat of that to see. Okay, let's then do it over Indomitable. I'm getting a slightly better result here. And I mean, this is one of the times I will say that, like, depending on the polish that you're trying to do, there are some times when your end result is just not going to be exactly the same when it comes to like the depth of the polish. Like, you can tell that what's in Candlelit Path, like that's a jelly base that's been mixed together with the iridescent orange flakes. They've been mixed all together, and then the result was a single polish, whereas what I have here is clearly a base with a topper. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I do see a difference here. So let me see what might happen when I put another coat of Fortitude on top of this. It's kind of getting there, but it's not going to be to the point of where you can see like those flakes that are in there like that. So let's see. Yeah, these aren't bad combinations. These are actually quite lovely, I think. I would recommend this kind of combination for times where you want to maintain the main focus of your manicure on the underlying base color, as opposed to, like, you know how sometimes if you put certain types of flake toppers on top of like a creme or acrylic polish, like if it's something where it's like metallic flake toppers, those can often be so densely packed that you start to see more of the flakes and less of the underlying polish color, which can sometimes be what you want to have happen. But for times where you want there to be, you know, you still want a little bit of like color shiftiness and everything, but you want it to maintain focus on the underlying color, something like Fortitude would not be bad to put on top of that. And I do really like how these turned out. I would say my personal preference would be to have this on top of Indomitable. I really love how that orange is going together with this particular shade of purple. So did I nail it? No. Like I said, it's just not going to compare to a polish like Candlelit Path, where you know those flakes were mixed in from the beginning. So what I'm gonna have to do now is let's see. What I'll probably end up doing, I was like reaching over to the side. These are just two of many examples in my collection of this type of polish that I'm talking about, where it's like this kind of like magenta jelly flake polish. So I've got Gin and Berries, Get In Here Loser, We're Going Shopping, and Emily Damali Half Orange. Both of these, if you see what I'm saying, it's like these flakes are a lot more densely packed in here. And so now what I'm having to tell myself is, especially with Candlelit Path being $14 for only a 10 milliliter bottle, I do not need to buy it. It is a very beautiful polish, don't get me wrong, but considering that I can scratch that magenta flake itch with not just two, but y'all, I got more of these types of polishes in my collection, I can appreciate that Candlelit Path polish for what it is, and also know that I've uncovered some other combinations here, but know that I don't need to buy it for this month. All right, I can definitely say I had a very fun time with these polish combinations for this month's HHC, and I'm very happy to have found some new go-to polish combinations that I can't wait to wear, like the Vaporwave one. I have not forgotten it. It is, I can't wait to see that one in like outdoor lighting or other lighting or something like that. And then also I just want to go back to the last two dupe attempts that I had here for the Candlelit Path. And you know, at the end of that section, I did pull out two of the polishes in my collection that are like magenta flake jelly polishes that I think are very similar to Candlelit Path, but part of why I didn't just choose to start with pulling those out was that I believe that Half Orange, the Emily Damali polish, has been discontinued, at least if I'm not mistaken. And then the Gin and Berries one, Get In Loser, We're Going Shopping, that was a limited edition polish that was only available at last year's Polish and Beauty Expo. And so, like, while for me, I can look at those two polishes and think, oh yeah, these are very similar to this polish that is going to be up for HHC. So I can probably just use that and done. But, you know, if I were to just do that in this video, knowing that it's very unlikely that many, if any of you might have those two same polishes, that's not going to be helpful for you. So I just want to reiterate a little bit of my process that I do for these videos. As much as possible, I try to choose polishes that are widely available, ones that are like, when it's the case that I have similar polishes in my collection that I can use for my dupe attempts, I try to err towards using the ones that are still readily available. So like, for example, if I know I was using, like earlier, a gold flake topper. Suppose I had bought a gold flake topper from Polish Pickup some time ago, and that's no longer available, but I also have the one from Mooncat, the Fool's Gold. So knowing that you all can still buy that one if you don't already have one, but you can't buy the Polish Pickup one, I'm going to show you the one that is what you might already have in your collection, and if not, you could add it to your wish list or something like that. So just wanted to clarify that. But yeah, I hope that this was helpful for those of you who are still in the process of curating your HHC wish list for this month. Please let me know in the comments, what other polishes might you need some duping help for. I'm more than happy to give my suggestions for those as well. And if you are trying to stick to a low buy or a no buy, rest assured, I've got some good videos in the works lined up for y'all to help you get a better understanding of how I go about making the best use of these polishes that I already own. Like I mentioned in the very beginning when I was talking about the power of using a shimmer topper over a creme or jelly or a crelly polish, it is just phenomenal. And I know that shimmers and toppers may not be like the most fun polishes to like shop for and buy, but I'm really looking forward to filming those topper videos for you all and having that be part of the bigger picture of how I personally go about avoiding the temptation to shop all the time. And in addition to that, I'm also going to film another video that has some more tips and ideas there, because it is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I do have some ideas brewing for that, so be on the lookout for that. And if you are not already subscribed, please, I encourage you to do so. I don't bite, I promise. I just make weird sound effects sometimes, but it's part of the Olivia experience. And for those of you who have already subscribed and you're part of this community, thank you again so much for being here, for sharing your thoughts in the comments on videos, for letting me know that these videos are helpful for you. I really do appreciate that. So hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.